The hell you going? Hey.
My
Hey,
bad. My bad. Sorry,
that's all
guys.
right, man. That's all
Sorry.
right. Savage AF, 1 chip, 2 chip, 3 chip, 4.
You know what it is, man. Forget your feelings. Facts matter, y'all.
But do
I'm
they?
your
But
boy.
do they?
Hmm?
No, go ahead.
Oh. I'm your boy Black Pedro, man. This dude right here. Cheers to him.
I'm Shang, aka still paddling up water upstream.
Hey man, at least you got a boat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this shit
Have
is.
a JF, man. Forget your feelings. Facts matter. We are the show that is here for you. Typically Monday through Friday, typically at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, typically on YouTube and Facebook simultaneously. Sometimes stuff happens, but we talk politics in an I don't give a fluff style.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell
We'll
you
be
right
cursing
now.
in 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
And sometimes we get a little bit iffy. I'm not gonna say the SHITTY, so I can spell it. And as we talk about these horrible hag people we deal with, and it's so funny how on Instagram they'll block you from saying certain words, and now YouTube is afraid of certain words like agate. You can't say agate,
Well, I mean,
but you can say
it's not even right.
NIGGER all day.
It depends
So
on who you are.
yeah, that's true. But this is the deal.
But here's the thing, guys. If you ever miss us live, right, that's clearly your fault.
I mean, like, who else's fault would it be but yours?
Do you
Okay.
mess up? But what we did is to save you, to redo, because we know how you could be sometimes. We do have all our shows archived on the YouTube channel. It's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Just take a look. If you're listening, youtube.com/C/SavageAF, all one word, man. And we
That's
need
all one word. And if you don't know that, now you know. And make sure when you get there, do this. Click the bell. Give us that thumbs up because the thumbs up makes your thumbs feel good and sexy. Give me that. And also subscribe. Not only to the YouTube, but to the Facebook, Savage A. F. And subscribe. It ain't that hard. Make sure you rate us too, because rating is very important. Rate, comment. Want our algorithm popping off.
subscribe. You know what it is, y'all. Also, listen. People have their little priorities in life.
Right.
Some people think it's your grandparents. For others, it's it's your career or whatever. Like, no.
And sometimes they think it's helping the children, and it's not.
No. There's only one thing that's important in life. Instagram, the gram, IG, the IG as we call it. Follow us there, or we will starve and die.
Wow. All right, but listen,
Due to the
I
lack
don't know
of
about that. And plus, I'm a big bear, so it's gonna be a long winter hibernation for me.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, follow at Black Pedro on the gram. And now I'm trying to rock and roll with this. Follow me on the Tickety Talk. And that's what old dude. Hey man, what is that? The Tickety Talk? So follow me on TikTok
the
and
clock one. You know what it is.
you know, the one with the tick and the top. And then they get mad. Oh, nigga, you know what I'm talking about. Shut up. All right, so I need
That's what I'm talking about.
Right. TikTok. So follow me on TikTok and Instagram at comedian Shang, SHANG. TikTok and Instagram. I'm on both of them now. I submitted. My will was crushed, and now I'm on there. So make sure you do that. And that's pretty much letting you know what the rundown on it is. But now we need another rundown. We gave you the rundown of what you need to do, and now we need to give you the rundown of what we gonna do. And also, we already got some people in the feed. Evelyn Gatlin is in the building. No other Miranda, aka F around and find out because fuck around and find out.
Right
Yeah,
on time.
right on time. Breezy JJ. What's up? Damani Jones. Marlena Gibson.
Oh, very funny young lady, by the way. Follow Melina Gibson, man.
Yeah, Melina Gibson, and quite the cage fighter.
Almost broke my nose one night, but I rolled with the punch.
Yeah, but and Damani, you watched that movie I'm in? Ooh, sorry. Ooh.
I remember you telling me about that experience.
Yeah. Well, hey, man. Hey, thanks. I guess.
Hey, you got.
I got paid. I got paid. So
And eyes are eyes. You know what it is.
yeah.
All right, man. Savage AF. Fuck your feelings. Facts matter. You know what it is, y'all. Black Pedro, comedian Shang. It's Tuesday. We going up June 20th. Oh, I think this might be the last day of Gemini season. Or was that yesterday? Either way. My time has passed. Listen, y'all. It's 2023 in the time-space continuum. We're gonna end today's show with a SHANGRY. With a SHANGRY.
I told you ahead, man. You can't just Hey.
I got you. Today's SHANGRY is Pedro might be right.
You might be right. I submit.
But before we get into that, your Black Pedro pop-in today is Shang might be right.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to disagree about who's right.
Yeah.
That's what it is, y'all.
Yeah, we pretty much are. Yeah, we're going to do that.
But before we get into that, and again, I give this as my disclaimer, as two brothers who have no journalistic affiliations or accreditations whatsoever, but stay woke within this media outlet situation and current political climate. We tend to ask some hard-hitting questions.
Yes, we do. And
the hardest one that we ask always goes, motherfucker, say what?
What?
Your motherfucker say what today? Let's talk about your boy Trumpty Dumpty and where he keeps his laundry and his documents.
Wow.
Savage AF, y'all. But before we get into that, speaking of presidencies,
I'm so sad about this, man.
Well, it just is what it is. But here's what it is. Your boy, Hunter Biden, the eldest son, the only surviving son, I should say, of President Joe Biden. It looks like, I don't think it's officially happened, but all indications are that he is going to plead guilty to tax evasion. Like kind of 2 counts related to that, and then a 3rd count for possession of a firearm while, I'm gonna put it in layman's term, while being a crackhead, but while being addicted. They got him for that too. So I think with good behavior, he can have the 3rd charge thrown out. But your boy did get caught apparently evading taxes. Big difference between the Trumpty Dumpty family and the Biden family. If you want to draw any lines between, because Trumpty Dumpty is.
Hey, what's your mom? Hey, what's up, Lolita?
Oh, his mom's here. All right, mammy dammies. But yeah, man, Trumpty Dumpty is also indicted for, basically tax fraud and financial.
Oh, no, I'm not. Oh.
I mean, so the big difference here is that, the Bidens cooperate. So unlike Trumpty Dumpty, who wants to fight a case while also incriminating himself rather than just taking a fucking plea and getting the goddamn out of town. Hunter Biden was like, yeah, I smoked that shit. I did it. And that was my gun and I'm out. I might have evaded some taxes. Okay, cool.
Yeah, a little bit.
But take it on the chin.
Okay, but let me just tell you what's going to happen. Other than the right wing going to gloat and lose their fucking mind. They're going to use this as a campaign thing, even though it is not necessarily Joe Biden, but the stink will get off on Biden because it's a Biden. But at the end of the day, if they give that false equivalency that it is the exact same thing, then every one of them every one of you right-wing Republicans, every one of you MAGA Republicans, and you white nationalists, and you Proud Boys, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to get in a spaceship. I want you to fly to the planet of dicks and just start chomping as soon as you hit the ground. I want you to eat an entire planet of dicks if you think it's the same shit. And the fact that he is taking accountability, even though he's obviously had drug issues for quite a while, and you know what I'm saying, like take pictures of himself naked, but who don't do that? I know I don't, because I don't like it. But yeah, but I think that what's going to happen is the right are going to try to use this as a campaign slogan, and it's not going to work, because hopefully the majority of people see that don't got shit to do with the job that Biden's doing. Even though I'm still not a huge fan of Biden, I'm not a huge fan of the DOJ. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of these people, but they are far better than the Republican Party, which shown their agenda is no policy, all tribalism, racism all day, every day.
It's what we do. Yeah. So, you know, and you know, part of the complaint, or probably the main spin they're going to give on this, and when I say they, I mean the GOP and Trumpty Dumpty, because you know, this, no matter what, is going to be a political headache a bit for Joe Biden. But you know, they're going to hit him with, because like this is, but I guess this is what happens if you're powerful, rich, and you cop a plea, right? So he's getting a sweetheart deal. I think the prosecutors are going to recommend. It looks like they're going to recommend probation. So you know, it won't be so while Trumpty Dumpty is, I still believe, well on his way to prison.
Well, I don't want to say this in front of your mother, but I'm gonna say it in front of your mother. Mama Hernandez, you don't know this, but Pedro falls down steps a lot. Hey, and he hit his head. If he thinks that Trump is going to do any time at all. And in fact, everybody in the feed, I've made another decision, and I'm going to ride with it. I know we said $11,500. Well, why don't we take it up to $12,000 even for each and every one of you? If Trump is taken in handcuffs and put in a cell, and his grill is being sexually massaged by another dude named Mosifus.
Well, now how we gonna get that though?
What?
I mean, those are some specific stipulations.
What?
First of all, you got to find the Mosifus, get him in the cell with Trumpty Dumpty.
That's easy. I could make some calls.
And then have proof of the mouth love that Trump would give him. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot, Shang. You know.
But when I'm
to get locked up.
I will. Okay, no, his name don't have to be Mosifus. He can just be a big black man, and it's called mouth reparations. That's what it's called. Okay, that's my new thing. So I'm just saying that the bottom line is, if Hunter Biden, which he is going to get a sweetheart deal because he is the son of the president, and it is partly white privilege, you cannot say that Trump has not had set-asides. He was not, he didn't get his, he went and got his fingerprints, digital fingerprints. He didn't get the perp walk. They didn't put him in handcuffs. He didn't have to spend a night in jail. It's all bullshit. And he was indicted. And Jack Smith gave him the eye, like, yo, bitch, that's right. I'm all up in your face. What you gonna do now, Orange Julius? And he couldn't say shit. Wow, Kevin Keith. And Pedro absolutely loves black women.
I do.
Okay, what is that?
I love all women, especially ones with apartments or a house.
Wow.
No more.
That's important. But do you see what I'm saying? Everybody in the feed, let me ask you this. Okay, now Hunter Biden, if he does plead guilty, which he's gonna plead guilty. The dude is a wreck. He's absolute. Yeah, he's a wreck.
This is for evading taxes in 2017 and 2018, failing to pay them, and also this gun charge. And at that time, he made a lot of money, didn't report that shit, and was heavy into his crack life, which I know a lot. My mother says in too many families have folks with drug issues. I know, but like crack is like
that's extra.
It's a very specific. It's like a black drug. Like, and when I say,
No,
I
it's
mean,
not.
like,
Hey, man, what
no,
kind
no,
of
no.
racist shit is that to say, Pedro? That
What
ain't
do
a
you mean?
black drug.
What
White
do you
people
mean?
obviously do crack too. You can't say it's black people. It's not a black drug.
Shang,
Drugs ain't
Shang,
black.
Shang. Historically, we already know
It ain't
that
black.
the government, the goddamn CIA,
Yes,
placed crack
in the black community, and
into the
white
black
people
community.
found out about it and
Specifically,
cracked the
what,
fuck up
so
too.
what I'm saying, all I'm saying when I say it's a black drug, I don't mean we're genetically predisposed to liking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not chicken. But what I'm
Wow,
saying is
you are
that
doubling up on your
it's not
racism.
watermelon, Shang.
I
But
mean, yeah. You know what?
I'm
I
just
was
saying,
just tap
they took
dancing the other day, ham boning, and I said to myself, if I could just get a little bit of crack and just a little bit of chicken, I'd be okay.
Mabel,
No,
hand me my spoons.
I know.
Here's the
I'm
thing.
about to shoot up. The bottom line is
No.
no.
But what, oh, no,
He
I'm
did crack. Why did he do crack? He white as they can be.
No, because listen, the cocaine was a rich white person's drug, and then they created crack from cocaine to fuck us up more. You know what I'm saying? To specifically fuck up the black community. So it is a thing for me. Like if Hunter Biden was just hooked on like meth or heroin or cocaine or whatever, I would feel a lot worse. But you know what I mean? I'd be like, oh man, that's sad. But I'm
No.
kind of like, bro, crack like that wasn't even meant for white people. Like he had to go to Baltimore to get that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like this nigga had to walk through an episode of The Wire.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck?
What are you doing crack for?
Your drugs.
Kevin Keefe said meth is a white drug. Okay.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I see what you're saying, but I just think drugs are drugs and people who do them. But I don't want to label it a black drug because it makes me feel bad. And you know what I'm saying? And in New Jack City.
The Carter, nigga. The Carter.
I know.
Every motherfucking
Hey, but there was a white what's his name? The white cop was there too.
What was his name? Judge. Is that
Judge
Judge?
Nelson?
No.
Judge something.
No. Yeah.
He ended up on drugs. Do you know he ended up on drugs?
Hey man,
after he did the movie New Jack City,
they be calling me.
Yeah, he ended up doing it. Him and Pookie. But I'm just telling you that they're going to use the right wing is going to use this, and the Democrats got to have to learn how to fight. You sad sack little bitches. You spineless hogs.
All right, Maylena Gibson, who may have a few teeth missing herself, says there's a lot of black people on meth. Girl, well, get out that trailer park. Yeah. Where are you? Where you see
Judd
black
Nelson.
people?
It was Judd Nelson.
I think Judd Nelson. Okay, Judd Nelson. I think Maylena, those are just the tired crackheads. I'm serious. I don't think I'm gonna disagree with you. There's not a lot of black people on meth.
Wow.
I'm joking. I have no idea. I'm just
I don't have a meth. I don't have a
it's
meth.
Not like I walk into niggas outside 7-Eleven and be like, "What you on?"
Yeah, like it's not a meth to Negro ratio that I know, but I'm saying right now, the way that the Republicans play dirty, they're going to use the Hunter Biden being on crack associated somehow with black politicians. I don't know how to do it.
Barack Obama clearly brought crack.
Right. It's clearly Obama that sold him the crack. And AOC sold her ass to get him more crack.
Kamala is probably a drug mule. We know what's going on.
Exactly. Kamala, you know what? I know for a fact Kamala used to suck dick for fucking test scores when she was in college. And they'll make up all kind of shit to make it worse than before.
Jesus Christ, it couldn't have been.
Heroin, heroin is a motherfucker.
Is the motherfucker. Yeah, man. You know, hey man, heroin's the only time I ever saw somebody like freeze and melt at the same time. Like this chick walked on the fucking train and the door shut behind her. As soon as it shut, she was just like,
why are we laughing at that? This is wrong. Well, you know what? You know what? And by the way, if anybody white want to say it's crack, I mean, the crack is a black drug. Well, you know what? Opioids is a white drug. And if you look at how they treated the crack epidemic compared to how they treated the opioid epidemic, where they said it's an epidemic and it's a health issue, and they put all of this information out there and they tried to do it when it was black folks on crack. They gave zero fucks other than trying to lock us up in droves because they wanted to get cheap labor to make fucking Nikes.
By
Or
the way,
some, you know.
I have met in my years in LA, I have met a lot of white people with quote unquote back when I used to do crack stories. Like people like people that I even work with over the years or whatever. Like they'll tell some random white people tell me some crazy ass story from their teenage, early 20 college years or whatever. And I'm like, "Well," and they're like, yeah, but that was back when I did crack.
Hey, that's back when I was
What?
sucking dick in alleyways. Like, wait a minute, you can't just gloss over the sucking dick in alleyways for a hit. And they will, like, oh, come on, man, I was young. No, I don't give a fuck how young you are. If you did crack, that's if something. And your mom just going hard in the paint. Abortion bans will abort the repugs. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so I think what she's alluding to is that you can bring out all your white crackheads you want to Republican. The point is that's not going to derail. That's not going to be what derails Biden, if and at all. There are these deeper underlying issues that overall Republicans are pushing,
but
that don't vibe with these. And I don't quite know who these people in the middle or independent voters are, but
are the progressives?
no. I mean, progressives are out, right? Progressives aren't the people that that Republicans are going to be able to pull in, right? They need those moderate Republicans to be involved and vote, and they need independent voters who could go either way.
Right.
Those Bernie Sanders
The
or
swing,
Donald Trump people.
the swing voters, which I think they need to swing on these nuts because I'm so tired of their bullshit. Like you can't see the obvious fucking choice. Let me tell you something. Look, the bottom line is with Hunter Biden has always had drug problems. They should obviously, I don't think he should get a pass either. I think he should go to jail just like all.
Well, I mean,
the number of black men that are in jail for crack and did crack or holding a gun and all kind of shit. And by the way, I can't even get a fucking gun. And I want a gun. I want a gun bad. I want to hold a gun and lay in the bed with the gun. And while I'm nude, I want the sunlight to just glisten off of my gun in my body.
Well, they say if he stays clean, he'll get to keep his gun, which isn't fair to Shang. I mean, as wild as the man might be, he is drug free. So get him.
Yeah, I want a goddamn.
But listen, they, what the right is really going to lean in on is this kind of what will be perceived, and they might have a fair gripe about it that Hunter Biden is seemingly is going to get a lenient sentence, but it is for pleading, like he's copying. He's saying, "Yeah, I'm guilty. You got me. Ah, my bad. Did I not sign that sheet? Okay, yeah."
Right.
So there is also this element of cooperation, which is the key thing with Trump in any of his tax scandals, or especially in this document case, which is supposed to be starting August 14th, but probably will get delayed. But either way, cooperation is the key. So again, we can criticize, we can make fun of, crack is black, opioids are white, but the reality is all these other people outside of the Trump family are fucking cooperating with the government.
And also, you got to look
before they're caught.
You got to look at a lot of the people that are fucking with Biden that are still going to separate. Well, that's your son, and maybe they'll have empathy saying it, and also the fact he stood up and said, "Okay, I'm guilty. I step forward." Whereas in everything Trump has done has been evasion, trying to be sneaky, telling him he gave all the documents, and then all of a sudden he didn't. I think that everything about him is corrupt. We had to think before he was even president, he lost a lawsuit for Trump University. He went bankrupt for Trump Steaks and Trump Airlines. And he didn't pay the workers, not only for Trump Airline, but when he had his hotels in Atlantic City, he still owes them. There are 975 lawsuits that are outstanding just for Trump. This ain't the kids, because the kids got lawsuits too. So I think that I'm gonna give Biden a pass, even though I think he's still an old school, old fuddy-duddy punk bitch when it comes to going hard in the paint at these Republicans that obviously are trying to derail democracy, and you just sitting there like a fucking bitch. That just drives me crazy. Your mom's going hard in the paint too. What she say here?
But she said Drumpf refused his lawyer's suggestion to cooperate on docs. He is not being charged on the docs he already returned. So that's the other thing. There's well, we'll get into that then, since Mom brought up Trump in these docs. But yeah, you know, this is a new. The president's son is pleading guilty to tax evasion,
Right?
And so, you know, we'll see how that actually unfolds. But since Mom's brought it up,
Yep.
let's go ahead and talk about it. Because when we talk about it, and after you hear about it, you really are probably going to ask yourself this.
Motherfucker say what? Yeah. Motherfucker say what? Say yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So yo boy, everybody's favorite president to impeach, went back to the Fox, to the not news place, and basically got cock hammer smacked. What's his
I
name?
have the video.
Hammer? Oh man, your boy Brett Baer, who, you know, these guys over the past years have been just trash talking pundit, so-called journalists, like trash idiots, right? Just fucked up people. Now have finally found some sort of sanity.
What do you mean? It finally found it. It took them all that time to realize maybe I should tell the truth sometimes.
Well, your boy Trumpy Dumpty. So your boy Brett goes at Trumpy Dumpty about, and this is something I've been you know, about too. So I was happy to hear it. It's just like all of these people that Trump hired who have jumped ship, Bill Barr, Pompeo, even Chris Christie, like Kelly McEnany or whatever, Kaylee,
right?
Whatever her name was.
Well, you know what? I got a video. I have a video I'd like to show you guys how I think the Democrats should start going at them, but even harder. Here it is.
In 2016, you said that. I'm going to surround myself with only the best and most serious people.
Well, I did do that.
This
and we
time,
had tremendous, look, we had the best economy we've ever had. The world has ever seen.
Your Vice President, Mike Pence, is running against you.
Yeah.
Your Ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley, she's running against you. Your former Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, said he's not supporting you. You mentioned National Security Advisor John Bolton. He's not supporting you either. You mentioned Attorney General Bill Barr, says you shouldn't be president again, calls you the consummate narcissist and troubled man. You recently called Barr a gutless pig. Your second Defense Secretary is not supporting you, called you irresponsible. This week, you and your White House called your White House Chief of Staff, John Kelly, weak and ineffective and born with a very small brain. You called your acting White House Chief of Staff, Mick Mulvaney, a born loser. You called your first Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, dumb as a rock. And your first Defense Secretary, James Mattis, the world's most overrated general. You called your White House Press Secretary, Kayleigh Canadian, milquetoast. And multiple times you've referred to your Transportation Secretary, Elaine Chao, as Mitch McConnell's China-loving wife. So, why did you hire all of them in the first place?
Because I hired 10.
Did you hear the fucking? That was like watching roast battle.
Oh man, he got a tonsil beating with Brett's.
What's up, AJ Fit?
But yeah, so he slapped him with, well, if you're so good at hiring people, how you hire all these bums, right?
All these bums, these hogs, these milquetoast, because he's
that was always one of the easiest things to call out for me. I'm like, you keep firing all these people. People keep jumping ship. As soon as they do, they become the worst motherfucker in the world. I'm like, well, why did you hire them? And if you're such a great businessman, how do you keep hiring all these shit people?
Right. And these are some of the on that list. There was not the list of some of the other people that actually went to jail because of you. That you had to give a pardon. That Trump had to give a pardon. He had to give a pardon. They went to jail. All the people surrounding you, and it was great. Jon Stewart said, because you have this, the reason that you got off with all your fucking privilege because you're in the top 1%, and you got this meat wall to protect you of the bodies of all the people that went to jail that worked with you, and now they hate you and they're coming at you. his lawyer has a whole podcast where he bitches about him every day. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, hey, this fucking guy, let me tell you something. He's a hump. He's a hump, and his whole family's a hump. So, and he did take the documents.
Real quick, just back on the last subject, I want to address AJ Fit real quick, and then we'll stick with this. But he says, I don't know if different colors, like different colored people, different races, choose only certain drugs. The goal is getting high lit. My point, AJ, was that crack cocaine specifically was crafted by the United States government and specifically placed into black neighborhoods to destroy organizational and positive efforts. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that black people choose crack. I'm saying it's just what fell from the sky, baby.
Right. And I'm saying to him, I don't want to label it a black drug, but I do get it, because when I think about it, and this was in a J. Cole, which, by the way, one of my favorite artists. Sorry, I love J. Cole. But he said that when Lil Jimmy had an opioid crisis, nobody was saying anything.
Oh, no, we know that.
Yeah, but when a brother has crack addiction, you know, he deserves to be in jail, or he deserves to be locked away, or he deserves everything that's bad in life. But somebody white, it's opioid. It's different.
Well, speaking of opioids, Trump is on them, or he's on some kind of drug, because it's also part of this Brett Baier interview on Fox. You know, Brett also hit him up like, man, you had the documents, you lied about them. What's up with that? And and Trumpty Dumpty's excuse, his defenses are getting weaker and weaker and more laughable. But basically that he was too busy to dig through all the boxes and sort things out. And he had personal things in there like golf shirts and shoes and all kinds of things in all of those boxes. So, you know, he needed time that he didn't have because he's a busy guy playing golf. Seems like if you played as much golf as he does, you would be looking for your fucking golf shirts,
right?
Boxes, which apparently are mixed in with the secret document box. I'm like, nigga, how you got old golf shirts and Iranian attack plans in the same bathroom?
And you were, and because he's such a braggart and a fucking narcissist, that he felt he wanted to make himself look like the big man. He was actually showing people the documents, which they got him on tape, and they got him fucking saying it. So the bottom line is, like, he, other than getting torched on Fox, which is funny how Fox is moving more towards fucking him over, and CNN is moving more towards giving him a pass.
Well, actually, and I didn't mention this, but CNN did finally fucking fire the CEO guy or president, the latest president, Chris Licht, who seemed well on his way to being a middle of the road Nazi. So hopefully, anyway, so hopefully CNN can get back to
their ratings after that. Even though the town hall,
I stopped watching after that clown.
No, after the town hall, but the town hall gave so much ammo to everybody else because MSNBC and other channels, and Jon Stewart went in on it, and there was a lot of the Midas Touch, which is one of my favorite online. Shout out to the Midas Touch. Hopefully we will rock with you someday, the Midas Touch. But I'm just saying, if you look at it, Pedro, real shit. After that aired, it gave us a lot of stuff to talk about to show how crazy this motherfucker is. And CNN's ratings took a huge hit. And Fox is taking a huge hit. So now they're trying to say, hey, we're not with Trump, but they still going to back DeSantis. And DeSantis is a smoother, evil version of Trump. And without charisma. He doesn't have charisma because
as long as Trump's eligible to run and not in jail, the party's going to back him.
So Kevin, you don't think that okay, go ahead.
But no, Kevin Keith also took inventory of those boxes and seemingly found hooker draws in some of those boxes as well with the secret documents.
But I mean, isn't Jack Smith, who I actually think that he's the only reason I'll give the DOJ some props, because Merrick Garland is a bitch. He got bitch all over him. But then Merrick Garland came out and said, hey, man, that's why I signed him. So it made me go, ooh, wait a minute. that was a good comeback on me because I was like, he said, yeah, may
Well, that's
not be involved, but guess what? Jack is. And Jack was standing right behind him on his shoulder looking at him going, yeah, I got it. I got
if
it.
you don't want your AG all up in your videos, all up on your songs.
Come mess with Death Row.
Well, that's what I've been saying is that like
you have been saying that, but
yeah,
I still think
like Jack Smith is his extension. That's his.
I can't have him win, man. That's $12,000 each person. You understand me? That's gonna put me in the broke house. I know,
when you was at $250, I was trying to stop.
I know, man, but now I'm gonna be under a bridge giving hand jobs for a piece of bread. I can't have that. So I'm just telling you right now, and this is the wild shit. Not only that, we don't even know all the documents. They said that some of them they try to get rid of, and that's the wildest shit about it. That they were trying to get rid of some of the documents. That is the stuff that I would go, what do the right wing and white people, not all white people, you motherfuckers, some white people, a percentage of white people, a big strong percentage of white people, because you still get the fucking privilege of white privilege. So until the white people that are, start policing the white people that are bad, I don't hear shit from you. That's like a good cop that sees a bad cop do bad shit, and then you don't do anything as a good cop. Everybody kiss my ass.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So it was funny and refreshing to see the snippets of this Fox interview, just because.
Oh, he went in on him, man. He went in.
Yeah, and it's where they should have been fucking 6 years ago. But it does show that the emperor's new clothes don't exist. That he is butt-ass naked in these streets. That even a guy like Brett Baer, who was, these dudes.
He's pretty conservative. If you look at
they were the ones spreading the election shit,
the big lie, which caused 700 and something change for
$787.5 million,
which is a chunk of change. And they say, well, Fox got it. That's nothing. No, that's a hit on your ass. And plus, they got another lawsuit that's even bigger that is actually coming up with
not Acumatica.
No, there's which one?
Systematica or something like that.
It's something like that. So that lawsuit, and they still have another lawsuit. Fox News, not Trump. There's another lawsuit they have, and also for defamation of character, the woman that Trump pretty much. E. Jean Carroll. I was gonna say
she's getting back. She's able to get back. She's gonna get back. That case is reopened. They're tacking on. She's trying to tack on another $5 million to make it $10 million suit for the shit that he said at the Clown Hall on CNN. This was the day after he had been found liable for.
And he said he called her names, and her lawyer said, "Gotcha, bitch." And I'm telling you right now, he can't Smartmatic.
Smartmatic.
Yeah, Smartmatic is coming up. And that's a big dog one. That's bigger than it's more money.
$2 billion. That was like 2.6 billion.
Yeah. So I mean, but if you look at how these motherfuckers roll, if you look at how they go at it, and Trump's defense gets weaker and weaker and weaker, I just want to see what else. I mean, the motherfucker said to himself, hold on, here's another one for y'all. Look at this.
This was not just extreme carelessness with classified material, which is still totally disqualifying. This is calculated, deliberate, premeditated misconduct, followed by a cover-up that included false statements and lies to Congress, the media, and the American people.
He's a prophet of his own fucking.
I know. He pretty much said
that's him
all the shit he did.
That's him talking about Hillary and her server shit.
And it's no way it's even the same. But okay, he has no defense. I agree with you.
He does. No, Breezy. He the boxes had shirts in them too. So he didn't have time to sort through the shirts and the secrets. Your secrets and your shirts are all mixed.
I didn't have time. If I had time, I would have did it. And Kevin Keefe says, yes, I wouldn't fuck with Jack Smith. Trump was scared of him and wouldn't even look him in the face in court. Yes, they talked about that a lot. Like, Pedro, okay, I'm going to sit here and you look over at me like really serious, like Jack Smith, and I'm gonna.
Yeah, that motherfucker.
Yeah, he punked him.
He turned into Stevie Wonder, like, if you really love me, won't you?
Yeah, he punked him because Jack Smith doesn't have the same demeanor as Merrick Garland. You can try to punk little Tweety Bird, man, but Jack Smith looked like he's ripped somebody's fucking voice box out with his hands. He looks like he looked like he. Yeah, he's not. He looks pretty intense. Okay, the boxers.
Breezy JJ is like he doesn't see it. The boxers shouldn't have been there. Period. And that's how he keeps incriminating himself. Breezy is he keep his defense is the crime. You know, right. It's like if you broke into somebody's house and stole their TV, and his defense is, I have a right to do that.
Right.
And you're like,
I thought it with my mind. I made the TV mine.
I made the TV mine
with my
in
mind.
My head. So
like your Sony television is in my mind. So now it's mine. This is how crazy this motherfucker is. And there's a huge swath of motherfucking white people that actually rock with this dude. And I got in arguments online. In fact, I was going to use that. I think I did something on IG. There's a new thing I put on IG where people are arguing with me about, because I was going to post the thing we just showed. Like arguing with me, well, you know, you got to let the law do what the law does. Agreed. But some of the stuff he did is obvious to the general public. It's obvious he incited the fucking rioters to go do, not the rioters, the insurrectionists. Fuck that. The insurrectionists.
Tourists.
Tourists. Well, they were, you know, it was a tourist. They just happened to stab a fucking,
you know,
cops on their way.
Yeah, it was a police and urine tour.
Yeah, we're on. Yeah, but see, so the fact that they still rock with that, the fact that there's people that, even though he said it himself, even though the thing I just played, he said it himself, even though he was talking about Hillary Clinton, it was him.
He keeps incriminating himself.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. So and Breezy JJ's, who we know works in DC, says if I remove classified documents, I wouldn't be here right now. I mean, listen, the little boy, the little wannabe Nazi kid Teixeira, who was posting top secret documents on, you know, in his chat group or whatever, like,
right,
that dude's already in custody and considered a flight risk. So you know,
didn't they let him keep his passport? And
no, he's remained in custody because
no, I mean Trump.
Oh, Trump, yeah.
And
but you know, that so much to me is like, I mean, where the fuck is Donald Trump gonna go? If he leaves the country, he won't be coming back, and then he definitely won't be president. So,
well, but they think that if he goes,
I hope he does flee to Russia, and we find him underneath fucking Putin's desk. All you see is a little orange fluff bobbing up and down while Putin's giving an international address or whatever. So.
Wow, Breezy JJ, I would lose my clearance and face charges. So please explain to me how this idiot is still eligible to run and he's been indicted. Hold up. You know, 1 for the money, 2 for the time. Come on, y'all. Let's rock this. He's been indicted twice. And like I said, even though Pedro and the rest of you motherfuckers didn't want to listen to the daddy light skin. You didn't want to listen to him. And you know what it was? I'm going to tell you what it was. I said to Georgia was the shit that was going to be the thing that stabbed him up in his asshole. And y'all was saying, I don't know. I'm telling you, that's
definitely a great case. And
great case. Georgia's going to be off in his grill.
The documents is actually the classified documents is the strongest because he is, like I said, he keeps incriminating himself with his defense when he's like the whole thing is like, did you took boxes you weren't supposed to take? And he's like, yeah, I did it because I could. You know what I mean? So it's not.
Yeah, if he said it like that, that'd be funny.
I put a little accent on it. There's a little bit of me in there, but you know, I didn't work on a download.
But you don't steal documents, do you?
Yeah, but no, he's just like, I took them.
I'm
they're mine. So it's like he believes that your car is his car, so he stole your car.
Oh, he's delusional. So
he's
delusional.
Delusion. So We'll keep it pushing because
we keep it pushing.
But
know this, and I'm gonna say this right now. Even though I got it up to $12,000 for each person, for each person that watches the show, each person in the feed, 12,000 cold hard cash. Even with him announcing how many times he's done corrupt shit, he's still not gonna see one day in jail. Just like we see Hunter Biden, even though he admitted he had a gun and crack, doing crack.
Hunter's got a gun.
Exactly.
Crackheads on the
run.
But okay, listen. Speaking of all this stuff, Department of Justices and whatnots.
Right. The DOJ.
I found some. I found like I went, but what I discovered, like, no, I was watching the news today and found out some shit. I'm gonna be back at you right after this.
Hey, it's your boy Black Pedro popping in. Hey, with another popping to let you know what's popping.
As you know, we're popping. To let you know the popping, the pop.
It's your boy Black Pedro with another popping to let you know it's popping. Woo! Didn't even think I'd have to say this out loud ever.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. I know it's gonna hurt you, but wait a minute. I'm putting it up there. Go ahead. Hey. Come on there.
Shang might be right.
About what?
And you, sir. Silence for a moment, okay?
Okay.
Let me say what I have to say. Do not interrupt.
How did you turn French? Wait a minute. Pedro just does accents. I go, the fuck was that? You know? All right, go ahead. I'm saying that.
I would like to say something.
Okay.
Okay. So here's the thing, man. First of all, I still think that Shang is dead wrong and out of his good goddamn light-skinned mind about Trump not going to jail. Trump is going to jail. So about that, sir, you are still wrong. However, I will give you this croissant. It turns out that officially now documented, Merrick Garland is a hoe-ass donkey fuck frozen biscuit patty of a bitch. Like, it has now been proven that they intentionally, because the thing I was thinking was like, okay, maybe Merrick Garland is allowing these local and state entities to do their thing, so he's not stepping on toes. Maybe they're building some case behind the scenes that we don't know about. Mm-hmm. But what we have found out now through documentation is that no, he was just scared about how it would look if he fucking prosecuted Donald Trump. So,
bitch!
Then that's a bitch ass move. What they decided to do, and I think it's necessary too, but their theory going in was, let's start with the bottom and see where we get to the top. So their theory was, let's arrest all these milk orcs and, fucking albino
snow heathens,
albino gorillas who were climbing the walls of the Capitol. They were like, let's prosecute them. And by the way, probably should have held them there at the time because a whole bunch of resources were fucking spent trying to recapture these goddamn monkeys after you walked them down the steps.
Oh, by the way, it was actually $37 million.
Yes, there you go.
I'm sorry, I know the number because I know that I studied his bitchdom.
Yeah. So, they thought, okay, we'll be able to take Toothless Jim from Michigan and connect him to the goddamn Oval Office, right? Dumb. So the only reason the only reason Jack Smith is on the job now is because these niggas got embarrassed. Is because the media and the public kept calling this shit out. And the January 6th committee was also, I should say, the main propellant in which they did a thorough investigation.
Fantastic.
Brought out all the fucking guests you could. All these white people telling you that this white man is out of his goddamn mind.
And one of the special guests was George Clooney.
and all of a sudden, and then Merrick Garland basically was forced to put Jack Smith on the case. Now listen, I understand because the DOJ before him what was being weaponized, right? Under Trump, Dumpty, all of that shit was corrupted, right? And shifty as fuck. So you want to bring integrity back to the department. Okay, cool. You don't want to look partisan. Okay, cool. But here's the thing. The second, and you don't want to look political. Okay, cool. But here's the thing. The second you decide to not do your job, when the shit is obviously, the obvious crimes going on, and you decide to not do your job, you being political, baby. When you're scared what the other side gonna say, and you do all that, you're being political, dog, at that point. So you might as well be political and right instead of being political and a bitch. And he was political.
And your mom said it perfect. I've been knowing that. That's why he had to call in a man with balls, Jack Smith. His mother's about that life.
My mom, she's like, because the motherfucker got dick shrink syndrome. Yeah. And this is how my mother talks to me when I'm at her house, by the way. By the way, Mom, we're coming to town this weekend.
Yeah, actually,
we got Friday 2 shows on Friday. So dust off that guest bed for me. I'll be there.
Wow, at this point, why does Kevin keep got to go there? Damn, Shang, at this point, I'll take Chuck E. Cheese bucks for $1,000, baby. Let me
He's thinking about future generations at this point. He's like,
so,
I ain't going to see the money.
Okay,
hopefully little Chloe can get
I just want to say that it takes a strong man to admit that.
First I said might, but no. We have proven that Merrick Garland. Is milk toast? I don't even know
milk
what
toast,
that is.
Sweet bird. If you look at, there's been about 5 different things I watch online where they show the documentation. Ready for this? In January, that showed that he was being apolitical and being just a fucking, like, I know we say men are pussies, even though pussies are extremely strong and have resilient and they can pop a baby out of a pussy. Well, not necessarily the pussy, but you know what I mean. This dude would be the stereotype of when you call somebody a pussy. He was so afraid of what it would look like instead of what it is. And that's why I've been on his ass saying the shit for a while. I still feel that way about Biden. Don't you even think about pardoning fucking Trump. Just because they did that with Nixon, because Ford did that with Nixon, don't mean you got to do the shit. And Nixon is a fucking Boy Scout compared to this corrupt cunt from Orangeville.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Kevin Keith points out, and the people they prosecuted said they did it because Trump told them to. And that's what I'm saying. And all of that came out in the January 6th committee, Kevin. So, when you have, like I said, goddamn Papa John's delivery guy who's on TV like, well, my president told me that I should stab a police officer.
So I went there.
And I feel like he left me behind. Like it was like the January 6th committee, as well as other media coverage, just it put it all out there. And you could see that there was this conspiracy at the top too that was separate from Oath Keeper, jug handle, good old boy
white nationalists.
Yeah,
we got to do white nationalists, or what they call from your mama's time is Ku Klux Klan.
And the reality is what we see out here without any evidence or whatever. But what is obvious is that yes, this powerful elite was using this very ignorant and violent base to achieve unconstitutional and insurrectionist goals, right?
Right.
And that, I mean, it was obvious the day of.
Right.
And basically through the January 6th committee, the DOJ got called out. And then also, I wanted to add,
now where did you see this? Where did you see what show?
It's been the talk all over MSNBC today. I've been watching.
I haven't watched it because I was dealing with some other shit.
And here's the other thing, Shane. We could add to this bitch ass motherfucking list, right? Because in line, and I'm gonna put them right up top now. And you know what? This slipped past my radar, but they called him out today, and I was like, oh yeah. Is the fact that Christopher Wray, director of the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, right, passed, like, once the DOJ was like, okay, maybe we should look into this, Christopher Wray and the FBI were like, nah, let's just leave it alone. So I don't know how, who said this? I think Van Jones was like, I don't know how not Van Jones. It was somebody else.
Because Van Jones ain't gonna say that.
Oh, I think the guy Ellie Mistral,
chocolate milk toast.
Ellie Mistral, he has a
the big afro.
He was like, I don't know how Christopher Wray still has a job. Like, he botched the Mueller thing, he's botched January 6th. He's botching all of these things and just kind of sitting on his hands on this. So to find out that the FBI, once the DOJ is kind of like, hey, we should look into this, was like, no, we're good. Bitch ass move, punk ass.
Look into
you're useless to us, dog.
Look into Trump and look into the January 6th. But this is the same person that said the number one threat to America is white nationalism and white supremacy.
So you know what's going on, and you see
what's going on. Yeah,
he's directing it. Proud Boys stand back and stand by, and you can't figure out
shit.
Come on, bro.
Okay, hold up. I just want to say,
Shang might be right about Merrick Garland, and we're gonna add Christopher Wray, FBI director.
Christopher Wray, and I'm gonna add one more caveat to it, and it would be Joe Biden. Now, the reason I'm adding Joe Biden is because Joe Biden's trying to constantly reach across the aisle to try to, suppress what was supposed to be done to Marjorie Taylor Greene. She should have absolutely been kicked out, and been back on the street, sucking muscle dick.
I will defend Joe on this one.
Okay.
And just say that while he is reaching across the aisle, I think he's literally shaking the hand of a wax dummy at Madame Tussauds. Like, Kevin McCarthy is a box of cotton balls. And that's the stuff. And so he's actually been getting outwitted by this senile, quote unquote, Joe Biden. So whatever game Biden is playing with the Republicans, he is seemingly winning at this point.
Well, not when you look at the polls.
Like I said, against Republicans, not with the voters.
And that's who counts.
He's not popular. But if he's your only choice, people are either going to pick him or not be involved. And to be honest, that usually is going to pan out for Democrat. I think that'll pan out for that. I think there'll be more Republicans who either flip their vote or don't vote at all because they can't vote for Trump. I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. But that being said, man, that's your pop in for today, man. Shang is right. Merrick Garland is a bleach,
and it's all in your face. And you know what else is in your face? Savage AF. Make sure you check us out on all the social media platforms, and you see it scrolling below you. I don't know why we get to tell you this every goddamn day, but goddamn it, that's what I'm telling you. All right, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. When you subscribe to the channel, you go to the page, you take your fingers, and you do this. Goddamn bell. You make sure you click the bell. Also, give us some thumbs up, because the thumbs up is what makes the thumbs feel lovely. And subscribe to the channel of the YouTube itch and the Facebook itch. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, and if you don't, I swear.
Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay.
Make sure you do that. All right. Look, before we get up out of here, I want to let y'all know something. My SHANGRY is a response to that, and it's not really SHANGRY. It's a conciliatory SHANGRY. So I don't know how to put that word together, but that's what it is. It's my SHANGRY for today.
No!
I hate to admit it. Some of the things that have been coming out lately pertaining to the wheels of justice. The wheels of justice seem to be moving a little bit faster than I anticipated. And PEDRO, who told me to be patient with the process, as I use a lot of P's as I'm popping my P's, PEDRO Hernandez, a.k.a. Black PEDRO, a.k.a. White Woman Hoarder, is correct. You have to be patient with the process, because if you don't, You won't cross all your I's and dot your T's. So I don't know. I said that wrong. Fuck you people. The point is, as I do this voice, the whole fucking thing, I saw some stuff online that said that if they do more of an airtight, and I mean an airtight case, there's no way for Trump to wiggle out of it other than the fact that the white supremacists are going to let the white person not go to actual jail and get his face thumped by a black guy named Jonas. So I will, with my Gilbert Gottfried voice, I will concede that I should be more patient with Pedro because he's right. The wheels of justice seem to be turning. And I give you that. Salute, young man.
Hey, I appreciate your conciliatory tone.
Yeah.
It takes a real man to come around and say, hey, I hear you. And maybe
I hear you.
I consider you my consigliere in this game, and I just want to say I appreciate you and I see you, sir.
Well, yo, I really think you're right. I think that I just was impatient, but I think my impatience was fueled by Merrick Garland's fucking tiptoe through the tulips type shit.
Well, it turns out you were right, bro.
Jack Smith sped that shit up.
Yeah. Well, he has to now. Like, he kind of been given the ball in the fourth quarter, and Merrick Garland's like, go win us the game, right?
He's over there hitting threes.
And in the whole time. But, you know, the reality is you were right. Like, officially, Merrick Garland was clown footing around this shit. He was being wimpy ankled, fucking noodle kneed.
But what would the Republicans think?
Yeah.
What would the Republicans think?
Totally being.
What do they keep calling us bitches? I want to take my ball and go home, bitch.
Yeah, no, you were right in that essence for real.
I'm gonna watch that. I didn't watch MSNBC because I literally been dealing with some personal shit, which you know about it because you know who
It is.
somebody that you know that you met and we rode across country and yo, I think you're right about, because right now Jack Smith is really doing his thing, and he still hasn't touched on the January 6th shit, and Georgia still hasn't come out. So I don't think he'll go to jail, but I think he will be fucked over to the point where hopefully it'll damage him enough where when he does go into the 2024 election, he'll get mollywopped.
Yeah, you know, I really don't think he'll be eligible. But either way, you know, we were both kind of right. This was going to take some patience because
right. And I wasn't patient.
because the AG was a fucking bitch. You know what I mean?
It's real.
He done his goddamn job. So it was both. Like, we had to wait for a punk motherfucker to grow a pair, like my mother said, and call in, or at least call in a guy with a pair. You know, it's like, I wonder how that goes. Like, hey, Jack, you're not gonna believe this. Lost my balls. Don't know where they are. I swear to God. You still have yours? Cool. Could you go get the president for me?
Yeah. I heard you have big balls, and as balls go, I don't have them. And some balls roll and some balls bounce. And I heard yours bounce. Mine, they retract up into my asshole.
You know, so that's it. So we were both right about
this.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what we want to know.
Because our attorney general was a fucking punk. And so is the goddamn director of the FBI, Christopher Wray.
Yes.
A fucking punk.
Never punk ass bitches.
You should have been kicked in the door, waved in the 4-4, and been, Papa, don't hit me no more.
Right. But as Phenom Brown said, whimsy, ankle, noodle, need.
Noodle need. That's it, you know.
Wimpy ankle. Low T heaven.
You know what it is.
Damn. All right.
T little D.
I'm just going in today.
All right, I got a bounce.
Okay, Savage AF, check this out. If you get a chance, this weekend we will be in Vegas doing a jokety jokes at the largest weed dispensary in the world.
No,
I had already.
I might not leave that gig.
It's called the NUWU Cannabis Marketplace. We'll be doing that, and then Sunday. I'm going to be back in LA at the Improv in Hollywood for the Lit Show. I'll be there for the Lit Show. So Check it out. Check me out live.
Are we doing Dirty at 12:30 too?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're doing 2 shows in one night. Tripping. So we're doing Friday.
This is a famous show in Vegas at what's it called? South Point Casino.
South Point Casino.
30 at 12:30.
At 8 o'clock, we'll be at the NUW, which is the largest
at the weed joint.
Right. And then at 12:30 at midnight, which is actually Saturday morning, we'll be at the South Point Casino doing a show for the Dirty at 12:30 with Gabe Lopez. So if you're in Vegas, both of them are free. Come out and check us out live and have a good goddamn time. But if you're a little bit squeamish, the Dirty at 12:30 shows raw dog. So I tell you what, we will see you tomorrow. I don't want to hear no shit from y'all. Shh.
Be black if you are. Black. Don't be black if you're not. Keep your fingers out your nose.
We out.